Okay. So today we're going to talk about publishing income. Publishing income and the different types of publishing income. Okay. First of all, publishing income is an area of the business where people pay for the rights to use your music, whether it be in a TV show, a movie, a sample, anything or anywhere where your music is being utilized or performed publicly. That's what publishing income is. That's the business of publishing. There are 3 PROs that collect publishing for you. PRO is a performing rights organization. Those 3 those 3 performance rights organizations are, and I know everybody's familiar with that, BMI, ASCAP, and CSAC. You are more than welcome to register an account with any of those 3 PROs. Now, once you do that, if you're an artist or a writer and you have not done that, please go do that now because you're leaving money on the table. You do have to take all of your songs and have them registered with whichever PRO that you choose so that you're able to collect your money. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, create an account with one of those 3, BMI, ASCAP, CSAC. Next is, how is publishing income generated? Okay, there are a few different sources of income via publishing, and those different sources are, and I'm gonna break down each one. You have mechanical royalties. You have performance royalties. You have sync or synchronization royalties. And you have print royalties. Okay, so mechanical royalties, performance royalties, synchronization royalties, and print royalties. Now we are going to go over how each one of these royalties are generated. Let's start with mechanical royalties. Mechanical. First of all, I do numbers. I don't do English. But anyway, so mechanical royalties. Mechanical royalties are generated by the sales of your music. That may mean the sale of a physical copy or even a digital download. So there is a government standard rate of 9.1 cents that's to be paid by the label to the publisher for every sale of any of your music. So for instance, let's say, just easy math, you release a project, it has 10 songs, that's 91 cents that the label has to pay the publisher on that particular project. So that would be, mechanical is from digital and physical sales of your music. And that standard rate is 9.1 cents. So there's so many different ways money is split up and made. So it's very important to understand the flow of the cash, the flow of the money as soon as it hits the digital service platform from the consumer's bank account. Where does that money go? How is that money split? Very important. And it's split amongst all these different sources of income. You just have to know the formulas behind it. We don't know what formulas or algorithms they use to calculate these amounts. That's the mystery. Once you begin to grow in the music business and you start removing out a lot of these middle people and creating your own publishing companies and creating your own streaming companies, if you want to, then you will probably get into the whole realm of understanding what those formulas are. Even for myself, I'm still learning a lot, but the higher up I grow, the more I elevate in my career and I'm in the rooms with different people, I've learned different things about how income is generated and about the gray areas that we don't know and we don't see. So that's mechanical. So next is going to be performance royalties. Okay, so performance royalties. Performance royalties. So, performance royalties are generated and paid like when your music is broadcasted on radio, shopping centers, podcasts, jukebox, live performances, or anywhere your music is broadcast live, there is a performance royalty to be paid. So what happens is the publishers issue a license to broadcast your music, and then that way from there they actually track the airplay, and then appropriate payments are made to the publisher depending on the amount of airplay. The formulas and things, I don't know that yet, but please believe me, I will find out, and when I do, I will tell you. But I haven't gotten that high up in the food chain yet, but I'm going. Okay, so that's what performance royalties are. So performance royalties are live broadcasting, okay? Live broadcasting. That's radio stations, jukebox, shopping centers, live performances, nightclubs. So if you walk in Macy's and you hear your music playing, yes, you are being paid for it. Okay? If you are watching, if you are in the bowling alley or a skating rink where there is a jukebox and people are selecting your music, yes, you are being paid for it. Radio, yes, you are being paid for it. All this airplay is being tracked accordingly, and it has to be submitted to the corresponding PRO, and there is a payment to be paid for playing your music. So yes, that's what a performance royalty is. Okay, next let's talk about the sync royalty. So let's go sync. A sync royalty or a synchronization royalty. Okay, sync royalties. All right, so sync royalties is basically exactly what it sounds like. So synchronization royalties is when your music or song is being synchronized with a visual image. So if you see your music and if your music is being played, video, television, I'm tripping. Movie, TV commercial, or TV show, or anything of that nature, any visual image that your music has been synced with, that is a synchronization. That is a part of synchronization income, in which a synchronization license was issued from the publisher to the production company for a nominal fee. Okay, and those fees are negotiable. Your publisher will negotiate what those fees are. It depends on how big of a motion picture this is that your song is being synced with. So, and also after the production airs, if negotiated properly, you will also receive what's called broadcasting royalties, which is kind of like music royalties also. You know how you're paid on your royalties as music is played and downloaded? It's the same thing with these TV shows and these movies if your song is on there. And the airplay will be tracked by your PRO, which is BMI ASCAP or CSAC, and you will be paid broadcasting royalties via publishing income for the sync royalties. So that's TV shows, movies, commercials, any visual images where your song is synced. There is a fee paid for a license to use it, and then if negotiated, you will also receive broadcasting royalties. So there you go with sync licensing. Now, print royalties. Print royalties. See, I told y'all, look, spelling, I put a little extra I in there. So, okay, now, for print royalties, and this is for new day and age. When you go online and you're able to search the lyrics of different songs by these websites that have all of the lyrics of a song online, there is a royalty or a fee that was paid to license those lyrics to be printed and placed online. So that's what print royalties are for the new day and age. So again, publishing income is where people pay for licenses for the rights to use your music. And you have mechanical licenses for streaming services. You have mechanical licenses for purchases and downloads. You have performing licenses, which obviously are for when your music is played, bars, clubs, events, live shows, shopping centers, anything like that of that nature where your music is being performed live is a performance royalty. Then you have sync royalties, where your music is being synchronized with a visual image. May it be TV shows, commercials, movies, video games, whatever. Anything where your music is being synchronized with a visual image, that is a sync royalty. All right, so let's talk about this pie now that we've talked about all of the different types of income. So the way publishing income is split is here. So you have a full pie. You have a full pie for publishing income. All right, half of that is for the writer share and half is the publisher share. So we like to say 50-50. So all the income that's collected from all of these sources by your performance right organization, that income is split down the middle for the writers and the publishers. Okay? So, with that being said, if you have a publishing deal, so for the writer side, let's go back for a second. For the writer share, this will be paid directly to the writer. A writer can be, as in a producer, someone who just writes, or the artist who wrote their lyrics. This income is paid to the publisher. If you are self-published, then you will receive your publishing income. Okay? So you get 100% of your writer share. You don't split this with anyone. With your publisher share, if you have a publishing deal, a co-pub deal, which is usually 50-50, You will split it 50-50. The publisher will collect all the income, and then they will pay you out your portion of it. So you get 100% of your writer share as the artist, and then you get 50% of your publisher share. Now, when you look at it as a whole, as the writer, that means you're getting 75% of the whole pie, and the publisher is getting 25%. So when you talk about the income, because I know sometimes it's get a little confusing. So when you talk about the income from a publisher's perspective and a writer's perspective, and you're looking at publishing as a whole, it's 50-50. 50% writer share, 50% publisher share. Then when you're looking at the writer share by itself, you get 100% of that because you get all of that income. Okay? When you look at the publisher side by itself, you're getting half of that, so that's 50-50. Now, when you take that whole circle and you generalize publishing and don't separate it between writers and publisher share, you're just looking at the whole entire pie of income, you're getting 75% of the income, and a publisher is getting 25% of the income. If you have multiple writers, obviously you guys will divvy up that share on what you call a split sheet when you do your music. So you separate the percentages, or you allocate the percentage based on the amount of music that you wrote on a split sheet. And that's how you will allocate that. Still, whatever your portion of that writer share is, you get 100% of it. It's sent directly to you. It doesn't go through a publisher, a label, or anyone. I should probably talk about Sound Exchange, but I'll do that by itself because your income from Sound Exchange will come directly from Sound Exchange. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions or anything about any of these sources of income, or if you feel like I missed anything, or if you didn't understand something, you can always shoot me an email, a DM, or put a comment, a question under the video, and if I see it, I'll respond. So that will be it. That will be all for the publishing income segment. And you know, again, how I am when it comes to my clients' income. It does require that the client is very cooperative and a team player for us to get as much done as possible and for us to handle the business accordingly. If we are on one accord and on the same team, no one will ever take advantage of you under my advisory. As long as I know what's going on and I can see what's going on, it ain't happening. You know, I take a lot of pride in my brand. It's called Checkmate for a reason. We are checkmates. You are my mate via the check. So, yeah, basically that's what it is. We'll learn together these segments that I have with the masses. I can do these personally with my client. They have time to sit down and learn it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So publishing income, licenses issued for the rights to use your music. The companies that collect your publishing are what we call PROs, and those are performance rights organizations, BMI, CSAC, ASCAP. And then you have various sources of income under publishing. You have mechanical, performance rights, synchronization, and you have print. And also, as I said, if you're a self-publisher, obviously you will be collecting all of the money. The advantages of actually doing a co-pub deal is them having the relationships and resources to be able to vet these production companies to use your music. You know, being able to have the proper registrations and the proper documentation for you to make sure or ensure that you receive all of your money and everything is done a proper way. But ultimately, the biggest reason is to utilize their relationships and resources. Which is very important. This is obviously this is a lucrative industry, but nothing matters more than the relationships that you can build and acquire in this business. Relationships will take you much further than the money. So don't ever intentionally fuck somebody over. Don't treat people bad and don't do people wrong, because relationships in this business are so important. I cannot stress to you how important relationships are in this business. And that is all. Can y'all even see that? If you can't see it, hopefully you heard me clearly. And meeting adjourned.